Hello, everybody, right around Australia, and in the words of Dan Shamir and some other guy, I'm back. But there are some others, so I should have said we're back, but I wanted the opportunity to do it. It's a big show ahead. Week 1 in the books. Hashtag NBL Overtime to get involved. And a man, what are you up to? What day? What day?
Day 25.
How many days is this?
Day 25 is a 28-day fitness challenge. I did it before. Shout out to United Training Yarra Place, my guys, getting me together. I'm feeling great. I feel good. I look good, and I'm in a good space right now with this fitness.
Excellent. You do look great. Welcome, Corey Homicide Williams in the house. Studs and Duds is up. The power rankings only 10 minutes away from being unveiled. I speak of Liam Santamaria. Hello, buddy.
Hello, mate. That was a fun round one. Wasn't a happy birthday to my wife.
Hey,
4-0 today. And big show ahead.
Massive show. Straight to you. What was the biggest storyline? What for you was the biggest of week 1?
I think you can't go past Tassie. You know, their historic win on their opening night on debut was huge. You know, wasn't an entirely pretty game for the most part. And, geez, it was certainly very, very dramatic at points, a little controversial. But for the JJs to come out and win on debut, that was a nice moment, a buzzer beater to end the first quarter. They go up 8 at quarter time, and the packed stadium at My State Bank Arena starts to find their voice. And then this play, oh my God, 2 points down in overtime, and that's what you call for your sideline out of bounds? Love it. Beautiful pass from Majet. A little taste of what the JackJumpers fans can enjoy this season.
The JJ's Homicide. What'd you think of that?
Listen, I'm super excited. I told you, that's the team I'm following.
Hey, 1 down, 13 to go.
1 down, 13 to go. They're getting halfway. As long.
What do you mean they're getting halfway?
I mean, I'm just saying they're going to score at least. They're going to get at least 14 wins.
Okay.
That's what I said. They're getting halfway.
Okay, yeah, you did.
Hustling hard is what I saw. I was really impressed with the grit and the intensity from the beginning, and I feel that. And when you're a brand new organization and franchise, you need your team to show those fans. If nothing else, this is what we're gonna bring every night. So very impressive home win.
Emotion pre-game, emotion no doubt during the game. Packed house, as you said. Emotion post-game from many.
Yeah.
Scott Roth spoke brilliantly and got caught up in it. Now they've got to go back-to-back come Thursday against the 36ers. So looking forward to that. You mentioned controversial. The Nathan Sobe situation. We're going to get to it later in the show. We have got an angle that no one else has seen, an NBL Overtime exclusive around the unsportsmanlike foul that was called on Nathan Sobe late. So make sure you hang around for that. Biggest storyline for you, mate?
Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Ooh. Oh, my goodness. Did they get it right? Shout out to Tommy Greer and this man right here, Xavier Munford. 27-7, 4-3. He showed the arsenal. Great team performance, one-on-one. You reach, I'm going to teach. Bang, 4 of 6 from the land of plenty, 11 of 18 overall. Whatever you wanted to do, this guy can do. In and out cross, step back, and 1-3. Bucket, gets the crowd involved, gets the fans hype. That's the type of energy you want to see your import point guard bring. Has a big reputation, and he showed up. And this man right here, you know, it's grown man business, man. You're a baby. He rocks the cradle. Shout out to Wolf Creek. You know he's going to have a big season. Just doing what he usually does. You too little? Oh, my God. Let's go back to the man from Far East. Bang! Too little. It was great to see him play because I actually believe that's the missing piece. Don't go to the basket. He kind of reminds me of, like, Bogut for Sydney a couple years ago. Just don't go in there. If he's not going to block shots, he's going to alter shots, and ultimately it's going to lead to a lot of transition buckets, just like Munford for an easy layup. But give me that. Like, just don't go in the paint. This is the piece that they were missing, and I think because of that, and to remind the fans, this is a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, and that third year, he was runner-up. So this guy gets it done on the defensive end, and we haven't even scratched. He's not even scratched a surface yet, but it was a great start for him. And he's coming off an ankle injury. Yeah. So we have yet to see the best at what this young man could do. So I'm excited for him.
They're deep. Dane Pernod was brilliant. Of course, missed so much of the last 2 years with issues. They've still got an import. He's ready to go. He's in town, isn't he? And ready to get into it. Of course, Ryan Brokoff. We're going to that next level. Mitch Creek is Mitch Creek. So they're a deep team. And I'll say this as well. I think there was just over 4,000 there Saturday night. Get down there, basketball fans in Victoria, because they're fun to watch, the way they go about it. I know it's not always easy when there's so much going on this time of the year, but don't miss out, because if you don't jump on that bandwagon now, later in the year when the joint's rolling, we've spoken about them, I think we've all got them in the top 4. Good luck getting a ticket if you haven't jumped on right now, but they are fun to watch. It was cool.
What did you enjoy?
I like the Perth Wildcats. You and I have both got them in the 4. We'll talk about that in a minute with you, Homicide, but you know what? Opening game, RAC Arena, so much uncertainty about what's going to happen going forward when it comes to the fixture in the second half and the restrictions in the state. They've got the Blitz champions coming in. They've got no Norton. They've got no Blanchfield. They've got no Hodgson after the first minute. They've got no Fraser. They are ripe for the picking. In fact, as ripe as they've ever been in a home opener, as ever. And Vic Lord has got anything he wanted. Anything he wanted, he got. Now, he made some tough shots, but he just got to whatever place he wanted to. Bryce Cotton, his ability as the best player in the league to be able to just soften into the support act and play as well as he did on Friday night, of course. Come Sunday, he was just the typical Bryce Cotton that we know. Good luck going to RAC Arena, which has always been tough any time in the last 35 years. The biggest... Luke Travers was outstanding again. The biggest concern for the Perth Wildcats is going to be Mark McGowan. Because I hope I'm wrong, and we are so sympathetic to what the New Zealand Breakers have had to do, and that's a whole new basket when you're not living in your own country. But this Perth Wildcats team, I'm hoping I'm wrong, but the second half of the year, I don't think they'll play in Perth. And that's purely on the government regulations, and that's, not the type of show we do, but they may have to play games and finals games and maybe grand final series away from Western Australia, and it makes it tougher. They're great on the road. The NBL Cup proved that, but it does make it a little bit tougher. But, man, they just rolled out and did what they did, and for anyone who doubted them, I reckon you might have changed your mind. Have you come around at all?
Not at all? It didn't change my mind. Who did they do that against Sunday?
Well, the team that you said...
The Wooden Spooner.
Well, hang on,
why are you so excited for them to beat a team that hasn't won any game in preseason? Clearly, they gave it their best, but it's not like they did it. Do it against Illawarra.
No, I agree. Do
it against the Phoenix.
But you know when they did it? Against the team that won the Blitz, and you put them in the top 4.
Well, I did put them in the top 4. Yeah. I'll keep them in the top 4. They just shot horrendous from the field. From the 3. They were 3 of what, 25 or something like that? Yeah. Hit half of those shots. Yeah, well, they lose that game. One man beat them.
Hey, you give you some credit. You got to give some credit.
I'm not giving no credit.
These
are wins that they...
For bad shooting.
Honestly, you're at home. Vic Law, Kilt, Cotton's there. You shouldn't lose that game. Although I felt they were, but you shouldn't lose that game. And they won.
They got a couple of handy guys that come in still. They're missing some.
Cairns had what?
Key personnel.
1,000 turnovers.
Yeah, it felt like it.
And at one point in that game in the 4th, it was an 8-point game. So, I
like it. I like you staying
I'm not impressed on a win against Cairns.
You impressed
I'm impressed with the individual performance by Vic Law and Cotton, but I'm not impressed by that.
Yeah. Hold on.
What's this?
They are. I like that.
Oh, my God.
What's this?
Come on.
Did you make this, Lee?
What? Who is Josh Miller, first of all?
I like
this.
That's a good question.
This dynamic duo right here. I like it because they are going to be spectacular.
That's hilarious.
Over the course of this season. Absolutely spectacular. Some games are going to go off together. Other games, like we saw over the weekend, they're going to take it in turns. They're going to play off each other. Vic Law said it in the preseason. He's like, look, you want to double Bryce? Go ahead. You know what? Triple team him. Yeah. Because I'm ready to catch it and make plays. And that's what he did on Friday night. And Corey's right. You're both right. They did everything right, the Wildcats. They got off to a nice fast start. But they did have a pretty friendly schedule. I'm nowhere near as high on Adelaide as some other people might be.
We'll get to that.
And I still am on the Adelaide train.
And you should beat Cairns for sure at home as well. And they've got 5 games to start the season at home. It's going to be interesting. Brisbane go over there. They're going to have to... They're dodging the border situation right now. They've gone over early. Back-to-back games at RAC Arena. Let's see what the Wildcats get done with those guys.
Hashtag NBL Overtime to get involved. Power rankings time. And I'll tell you this. I got to tell you straight up. I spent too much of my weekend going through the comments sent it towards Liam Santamaria after last week. Mind you, so many of them from South Australia.
Yes.
How are they after the last couple of days?
I didn't hear much from anyone from South Australia over the weekend. The JackJumpers just jump up a little bit. The Breakers, man, they've just fallen a little bit behind with this COVID setback, and as a result, they've tumbled down the standings. And Perth have vaulted up.
Gone up.
They're right up there in that top 4. No movement in the top 3. Illawarra and South East Melbourne, both really impressive. Sydney, they kind of stumbled to that win in the end, but they look pretty good for the most part against an undermanned Melbourne United team. And nice to see the JackJumpers just take one little extra step up on the power rankings.
So Brisbane is above the JackJumpers, and Brisbane lost to the JackJumpers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't look at me. I'm as confused as you, Corey.
I'm not.
I'm confused. I still think Brisbane will probably finish. Is that your parking, is it? Will finish higher than Tasmania at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But they did beat them last week.
Oh, they beat them on their home court in overtime in controversial circumstances. If a team below another team in the power rankings beats them on the road, let's have a talk about that.
All right, Adelaide were low. They won the Blitz. Liam had them low. They lost. They've dropped even lower. But there's two real things. You alluded to it moments ago. Their three-point shooting against Perth, 3 of 21, and they turned the ball over 21 times against Illawarra. Dusty Hanners. That's not the Dusty we're going to see over the course of the year, but he does need to shoot it a little bit better than that.
Well, this is how I look at this, right? They played the team that pretty much went to the championship, right? They played the New England Patriots of this league.
Yep.
On the road.
Yep.
Shot bad and was still in that game. Mm-hmm. One man beat them, right?
Yep.
Cool. Second loss. That's a tough double.
Really tough.
Playing against Illawarra, right? These are two teams, obviously 90% of Australian basketball fans believe Red Army will be there at the end. And the other team pretty much, I believe, will win the whole thing. So this is the creme de la creme you're seeing in this league. So if you lose to them, I'm not gauging them off of those two losses, right?
Sure.
I'm not. Yeah, they turned the ball over ridiculously. Dusty Hannah, hear it from me, okay? You come over here with a lot of hype. You're going to have to live up to it. This ain't a cupcake league. Welcome to the NBL. Step your game up. I don't care what happened in preseason. I don't care about the hype that's going on before you got here. Take it from me. Step your game up.
I agree. Really tough schedule. The thing with the Illawarra game is you're at home. It's your home opener in front of your home fans. I didn't like the way they played in that game. Heavy legs, really tough to come back across the Nullarbor and play that game. But there was some like real lethargy, real sloppiness about the way they played. They just weren't locked in at all. Not getting back on D. Dead ball situations. Giving up a dunk by not getting back on D. There was a lot of that. This week is a big test for Adelaide. You start off 0-2, then you go down. You've got to play in Tasmania. A lot of momentum they're feeling down there, feeling up and about after that debut win. And then what do they go to Cairns? Got to get those 2 wins.
The Tasmania game is interesting because for that exact reason. But how did the emotion from last Friday night? They've got they had a couple of days off. I think they were back on the practice court yesterday, or might have been this morning. They've got to somehow replicate the same standard of play without the emotion of an historic night. Now it's very hard to do. In fact, it's almost impossible to do. So they've got to be able to find other avenues to be able to get that intensity at an all-time high. But if they go 2 and zip, all of a sudden that joint's going to be packed. What are we calling it? The Nest? What's it called? Called I know Andrew Gaze feels it needs a bit of workshopping, but the Nest, it will get bigger and better each and every week. So they've got to feed off that crowd. So I can't wait for Thursday night. You and I are doing that game, and I'm looking forward to it. But from Adelaide to Illawarra, we'll let you go first because you do like this team, and they were, as bad as Adelaide were, Illawarra were great Sunday.
That's the team that's going to win the championship, as we can see footage right here. Look at that beautiful.
That was a nice start.
Yo, look at the score. It's 2-2. The game just started. You would think you see a play like that late in the second or late in the game. Ready to play from the beginning. Duarte Reef can shoot from the land of plenty. Step back. Bucket. Where is the weakness on this team? You know Tyler Harvey's going to do what he does, right? We know this. Where's the weakness on this team? There ain't none. Easy run out. Easy 2. I mean, this team is loaded. And obviously, they played against a team that traveled, but this man, right, oh my goodness. Listen, his skill set is all pro. And if he's coming off the bench and can give you that, 15 points in 24 minutes, man, listen, who's going to stop this team? Imagine when it's him and Tyler Harvey in that backcourt. Who's stopping that team?
Oh, don't forget, you got Jessup as well, who
Come
had
on,
an outstanding year last year. And it's
And he had a good game in this game.
He's half been forgotten about, and we know
Well, geez.
once he gets going, what he can do.
Pretty handy. You got 3 imports.
Yeah.
Plus a guy who's a second-year pro, drafted a couple of seasons ago. I mean, that's a great setup to have. Sam Froling, Dewop Reith, the greatest to ever do it, roaming the sidelines. They are locked and loaded and going to be very, very tough to beat.
I want to see the Wildcat do that against them. Then I'm impressed. Do that against the Phoenix. Then I'm impressed. I ain't impressed with beating somebody you're supposed to beat. Wooden spoon team. This, that. Please.
I do like you are focusing on Sunday's game.
Please.
You tipped the 36ers to make the 4, and they beat them without 4 key guys. But I do pick up what
And when
you're
the
saying.
4 key guys come in, that's less touches for the other guys. How is that going to work?
Well, that's
It's a lot of questions that need to be answered.
I don't want to call him ScoMo for obvious reasons, but that's what Scott Morrison has to work out.
That second game for Adelaide is against New Zealand at home, not Cairns. So,
It might be Cairns, Tasmania.
yeah, but Adelaide need to get that done.
They do. All right, good news. Santa's watching his back. Wherever you might be around the country, you elves have to step up. We've already seen Josh Miller do a very nice job of it. Hashtag not armchair experts. That's my show. Hashtag NBL Overtime. All thanks to Amy.
Hey,
Fire away. Sorry, Lee.
Camry Wigness jumps on here. He says, I'm 6 foot. And nah, mate. Nah. Marva King wasn't having any of that. What do you guys think of ScoMo's stroke?
Well,
You happy with the
if
stroke?
they struggle, he can
I
play.
like he's shooting it from beyond the sideline as well, where he's going to be. And hold on. You know what? There's a bit to unpack here.
Yeah, what?
I'm coming to the monitor for...
There we go. You got thumbs on?
I'm coming to the monitor
I
for
wondered
this.
why you were dressed up.
Do we like the Blazers for the JackJumpers?
I like the idea of it.
Okay. Do we like the Blazers over the jerseys? And also, can we get a Blazer for the development
Yeah,
players?
they've all got to get blazed.
That's a little unfair, I think. And the other thing I think is a little unfair here is where the photographer says, all right, if you're fully contracted, hands clasped in front. If you're a development player, now you keep them at the back.
Nah, that just must have been a comfort thing.
And if you're Russian, grab one of your fellas and hide in there. But I'm not sure about that. You like the Blazers?
I'm not monstrous on the Blazers. I love the tradition of it, and I like the fact that they've gone the Blazers, which isn't a traditional basketball thing. I don't know. The idea is great. I'm not 100% sold on the Blazers.
All right, well, let's roll the rest of
I would
Santa's
actually,
watching.
I would have liked to, and I don't know if this is actually the...
Hold on, this is... they were having fun.
Yeah,
They were having fun.
they were.
Check it out
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
she
stands.
was having a good time.
She was up and about. DJ was having a little less fun on Friday night because that one didn't find the mark. What are we doing there? He just flips it over the shoulder, finds the first... CJ's not too happy about it. Meanwhile, Vic Law... just lost. And he was angry.
He wanted that.
He's like, oh, come on. I really wanted that. And then to Jim McCall's like, man, Garden Bryce Cotton is really... Look at what you hear. He's like, Garden Bryce Cotton is really, really... and then Bryce just cuts to the basket and takes advantage. And Adam Ford's like, Vaughn, I just want to talk to my import. I just want to give it to my... Vaughn's like, 40, just take it easy, mate. It's for the best.
That is all thanks to Amy. Santa's watching his back. Hashtag NBL Overtime to get involved. I actually think the numbers, and this could actually be the case, I don't know. The number of the player, which is on the blazer of where you are, part of history of this new club, it should be just stitched on your singlet.
Oh, yeah.
So it could be on the back of the singlet. So number 1, who was number, was Steindl number
Sam
1?
McDaniel?
McDaniel was number 1. He has number 1 and just goes in when you're signed. And, in 2050, when we're still doing NBL Overtime, in our 50th odd year, we'll be like, you know what? There's number 642 for
I don't
the
mind that.
JackJumpers. But, yeah, I do love the idea of it. All right.
What's going on here?
JD Sports, they're back. And then they're undisputed king of trainers. And this is the JD Sports Sneaker of the Week. It's Xavier Cooks, who was outstanding in their opening game. PG5 personalised.
I like
Little
that.
Kings there. Nice shoe. Got his number on there as well. The JD Sneaker of the Week. And there's a lot of feet heat this
That's
year
nice.
in the NBL. And Xavier Cooks
Representing.
goes bang.
Purple and
for
gold.
the start of it. Are you ready for this? They are the undisputed king of trainers for this exact reason. Ooh. The Air Jordan 11 Cool Grey back for the first time since 2010. It's the biggest Air Jordan drop of the year.
Nice,
you got to get going. Cop your pair in full family sizes for men, women and even children this Saturday at JD, online at selected stores. Go via the app, but do not miss out. JD Sports are your undisputed king of trainers, and that proves it. The Air Jordan 11 Cool Grey.
They're nice. They go well with that shirt, Cam.
It's a nice shirt, isn't it?
I think you could pull that off.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Hashtag NBL Overtime to get involved. We're going to get to yes or no very quickly. But firstly, this weekend, Liam and I didn't look at the fixture, obviously, because we thought Adelaide would go in the cans. Apparently, they are not. But there are games left, right and centre we can't wait for. That is the JackJumpers Adelaide game to kick-start it. Phoenix and Breakers. Melbourne basketball fans get there to see the Phoenix. The Kings and Illawarra, we look forward to that. Taipans and the JackJumpers. Then we've got a throwdown. Then we've got the Breakers going to Adelaide and then Perth and Brisbane to go at it. Homicide, what for you are you most excited about?
I think that Tassie-Adelaide game is going to be big. That's a big game. 2 games I'm excited about. Perth-Brisbane, because Brisbane need to get on the board.
For sure. The 2 big rivalry games for me. Sydney and Illawarra, that's massive. The Freeway Series, there's been a big build-up to that, and Melbourne and Southeast Melbourne, of course, the throwdown. Will Chris Golding be back? Will the Phoenix feel like they're the best team in Melbourne this year? Yes, United might be the defending champs. They're coming in with a kind of a confidence and an arrogance to say, you know what, that's last year, this is this year, we're the best team in town, and I think they're going to be trying to prove that on Sunday. I'm
with you. I think that Brisbane-Perth game is going to be really interesting. Brisbane, you're going to be sitting around stewing after a game that they may feel they should have won. We'll get to the call in a moment. But they're sitting around. They've got the tough one against the Wildcats, who have started the year so particularly well. So, Lamar Patterson, what did he say pre-game about you? You're an entertainer. You're paid to say those things. So
I didn't hear that. I saw 10 points in a loss and 2 missed free throws. Lucky Sobe saved us behind at the end. That's what I saw. Let's talk about that. Well, but it's only round 1. Don't focus on me. Focus on your game.
Yes or no? In a little bit of a different twist this week, because there's a few we're going to get to, but we're going to start with that controversial call. So it was the big one. We got the game, the whole joints, national TV, everyone's loving it. The JackJumpers trying to start in an historic way, and Brisbane are trying under their new coach to get a win in what is, over the weekend, one of the most hostile of environments because of what the game meant. We're in overtime, and Nathan Sobe gets an unsportsmanlike. Now, before I ask you, and I'm going to ask you both, yes or no, was it an unsportsmanlike foul? We have got exclusive NBL Overtime vision that we did not see in the broadcast. I'm assuming the teams have seen this since, but you watching at home on your couch right now probably haven't. Here we go. This is from the other end of the court. So we've seen 2 angles from the other rim, not that one. Yes or no, homicide, unsportsmanlike foul?
I wouldn't call that, man. I wouldn't even call it. That's definitely not unsportsmanlike. Look at that angle. What did he do? Let's look at it again.
Yeah, what I find interesting from that angle is you can see, I think, that Magnay actually initiates the contact. Yeah. He's the first guy to put his hand out and make contact, and then Sobe responds, puts his hand out, and then Magnay comes up through. I think one of the interesting things about this, and I know this is not yes or no response.
I know we both didn't even give a yes or no response.
Is that because it's clear path, it's even if it's just called as a normal foul, it's automatically upgraded to an unsportsmanlike. It's automatically called as an unsportsmanlike because it's clear path. Also, no play at the ball because the man doesn't have the ball. I think, and I also think, seeing from that vision, you don't have to blow that whistle. Now, maybe you hear it from the other coach, the other team at the end of that game, and they say, well, that was a big moment and should have been called. But I think that happens a lot in games, and that could go on.
I'd argue that what you just said about Scott Roth and the JackJumpers, there would have been not one person, JackJumper or otherwise, who would have raised that had that not have been called. Of course, they had the ball. We didn't know what was going to happen. coach's challenge, firstly, I like the idea of the refs not going to this is over the whole weekend. The game was quicker for it and it was better for it as a spectacle. So that's the big thing we spoke about last week, that they're not going to the monitor a lot. We're not getting these ones. So that was really good. I thought that worked. But that is the question. Is it a foul? It's not an unsportsmanlike foul. For me. And I was also sitting at home going, well, hang on a second. Is James Duncan saying, hang on, are we going to review this? Are we going to try and have a look at this? You can't coach challenge because it's an unsportsmanlike foul,
Correct.
which I'm not 100% sold on that, but I get why it's kind of in. But the question is, was it a foul because it leads to the clear path, which is automatic?
Yep.
I would say no, which then questions, without getting too deep, can you then challenge that?
No, you can't challenge it because it's automatically called unsportsmanlike. You can't challenge it unsportsmanlike. What he could have done,
But
James
that gets upgraded after that.
That's not an upgrade. Right? It's just initially, it's just called as an unsportsmanlike because it's a clear path foul.
So,
but what he could have done is request or just suggest to Vaughan Mabry, say, hey, this is a big moment. Let's have a look at this to see, and send it upstairs. I still don't think it would have been overturned by the replay centre. Was a big call in a big moment. JackJumpers got the win.
All right, yes or no? Corey, have we overrated Mojave King?
I don't think so. I don't think we highly rated him.
Well, last year we were big on him. He had a great preseason. And, we're talking about him as an NBA player. And I'm not saying that is... I just, have we overrated him?
No.
Did you hear in the off-season that Bryce nearly ended up a Jack Jumper?
Nearly ended up ejected. No.
Okay. Finn Delaney, all-NBL team?
Yes.
So you still think the Wildcats won't make the top 4?
I'm not sold on him yet.
Does Scott Machado have to put the 3 ball away?
No, he needs to hit the 3 ball.
Did a club try and entice you to join their front office at some point in 2021?
Yes.
Okay. Hashtag NBL Overtime to get involved. Just on the all-NBL stuff, right? Okay, not particular play. Are we at the time, do you think? We've got so many quality players. We've got 10 teams. We've got more players than we've ever had for a long period of time. Do we start to extend some of these? Do we go to an all-NBL third team? Do we maybe look at putting an all-defensive team in? So much of what looks good on a player's CV, and I guess the Next Stars program's a perfect example of that when they're a Rookie of the Year or they play really well and then they're, do we need to maybe start to think outside the box and maybe adding all-NBL third team, all-defensive team? We have a Defensive Player of the Year, of course. Do we need to look at stuff like that, mate?
I believe so.
Yeah.
There used to be all-NBL third team.
Yeah, they did.
I like first team all defense.
Yeah.
I'd like that.
Yeah. Just something that,
more teams, more players.
There is.
More exposure.
More than there's ever been.
I like it.
Yeah, okay. Hashtag NBL Overtime to get involved. Of course, I'm going to start to throw some more stuff around.
That was a good yes or no.
It did. You did. Did you like that last little one?
No, I liked all of it.
Yeah. Have you spoken to...
Is this still yes or no?
No, it isn't, but I have meant to ask you. One of your former teammates, so heavily involved, Jamal Mosley, have you touched base with him?
No, I haven't, no. Not since Summer League a couple of years ago. Cool to see him out there as a head coach.
Yeah, it is. Hey, who's the best player right now in the comp? Is it still Bryce Cotton?
Bryce team. It's Bryce League. Easy.
Sobe was good, wasn't he, on Friday? I know we've spoken more about how it happened at the end, but he was good.
Well, he's a man of the people right now after unleashing and kind of letting the officials know.
Did he get fined for that?
He might. Yeah. I mean, it came through pretty strong on the broadcast.
That's the issue I have with professional athletes, and not the issue with them, but like emotion and passion is such a critical point. He says something that if it wasn't mic'd up, which is great for us, not everyone's hearing, and then people are like, well, you can't say that. And it's like, why? Because someone on a couch, 3,000 k's away heard you swear that if it wasn't actually added in 2021, then they wouldn't hear it.
He's going to have a massive season.
Oh,
and they've got to, this is a tough schedule having lost that one, because now they're a little under the pump. They're 0-1, 2 games in a row in the jungle. As I mentioned, they're there early. And teams don't usually get to Perth early and get a chance to kind of acclimatise, adjust to the time difference and the like.
Liam, don't give me that stuff.
I think...
Mate, it's this. What is it? Is it the time difference, Corey, when you go over there, or the fact you got 13,000 people in it?
The time difference doesn't help.
Oh, give me a spell.
Come on.
This is like when a player's blaming the new ball for not being able to hit a triple.
Nah.
Those are excuses, man.
Thank you, man. I'm with you. Keep training, man. 3 more to go. Studs and duds, power rankings, nbl.com.au. Top 10 players of the week. That'll be Antonius Cleveland, won't it?
Surely.
Whew. If not, we'll have
was
a crack at the people who voted in. Is that you? Do you vote on that?
No.
Okay. On that note, we're out of here. #NBL Overtime. Until next week. See ya.
Peace.